Welcome back. Now, the big trend in fund management over the last decade or so has been for money to move from active fund managers to so-called passive fund managers that simply track an index or a basket of stocks in a particular sector. But now the active managers potentially face a fresh challenge: funds managed by artificial intelligence. Well, a fund consisting of 38 stocks chosen by ChatGPT has, in the last 7 weeks, outperformed the average of the UK's 10 most popular funds. That was in an experiment conducted by the comparison website Finder.com. Well, joining me now is the Chief Executive of Finder.com, Jon Ostler. Jon, welcome to you. What did you instruct ChatGPT when you were constructing this portfolio?
Yeah, it was really just a bit of a fun experiment to see what new technology could do. So we just fed it the sort of general investment principles that we picked up from the top funds in the UK, fed those in, and then asked it to put together a portfolio, which, after a little bit of negotiation, we managed to extract those 38 stocks.
So it was up 1.7% versus down 1.6% for the popular 10 funds. Was that performance from the active funds distorted by one or two of them doing especially badly?
Well, yes, I guess it did pick more of the sort of NASDAQ US stocks. So we had some Microsoft and Meta in there as well, which typically had a good run over the last 8 weeks. So I think we're up 5% versus down 0.8 on the top 10 funds in the UK, which maybe some of those a bit more conservative indexes.
Right. So those were the things that made the difference then. It was mainly US tech stocks.
Yes, yeah, just some of the classics that I guess have recovered over the last 8 weeks. But by picking stocks, sometimes it's more chance than logic. But I guess it was just really the experiment of seeing what you could do with this sort of technology.
Could it be said then that if you'd done this time last year, when obviously tech stocks had a pretty terrible 2022, the active fund managers might have actually outperformed ChatGPT?
At the moment, I would not recommend using ChatGPT for your investment portfolio. But I guess in the future, when these sort of AIs are connected to more live data streams, and especially if you've got bespoke data that you can feed into these models, that's when the real challenge comes for funds as far as how they're constructed and managed going forward.
And did ChatGPT churn its portfolio? Did it sell stocks and buy others during the course of this experiment?
Unfortunately, at the moment, it doesn't have access to that live information unless you're sort of on the beta development program of hooked it up to something. So this was more just the general underlying investment principles that were used to select the stocks rather than trading, which, you know, AI has been used for a long time for technical trading, and I guess this is more sentiment trading.
Now, you've highlighted how it did against the 10 most popular funds. How did it do against stock indices more broadly?
Well, it's definitely up against most. Some of those indexes were just trackers of, so definitely up a lot against the FTSE and things like that. Yeah, did pretty well at 5% over the last 8 weeks. But as I said, you know, what that's going to look like in the future when it's a lot more capable, that's going to be an interesting space to watch.
Yeah, I mean, The Telegraph carried out this experiment in February, and its ChatGPT portfolio actually fell by 24%. I mean, I guess it depends what you're asking this thing to look at.
As I said, stock picking is a difficult beast to do, and yeah, certainly it would require a little bit more intelligence to the artificial intelligence to really succeed over the long run. But yeah, it's going to be fun to watch.
All right, Jon, got to leave it there. Good to see you this morning. Thank you.
Thanks.